Hello guys, good morning. This is Dileep Nigam, CEO of SimpliExcel, Training International Certified John Maxwell Coach. SimpliExcel is in the business of offering leadership programs to corporates and other institutions based on the leadership principles taught by John Maxwell. And today, I have the honor and privilege of having with me Mrs. Anita Huberman, the CEO of Surrey's Board of Trade. Thank you, Anita, for being here with me.
Thank you.
Anita has also been the honorary captain of the Canadian Royal Navy, right? So welcome, Anita, on board, and I'm sure, I'm excited to hear your success story, and I'm sure your success journey is going to motivate many people in times to come. To start with, can I request you to talk a bit about yourself, your background, and your success journey in short?
Sure. So I've been CEO of the Surrey Board of Trade for 12 years.
Right.
And I've been with the organization for about 25 years. I started when I was 19, when I was going to Simon Fraser University. I received my bachelor's degree in communications with a minor in European history. And really my success story is still ongoing. I'm still a young lady. And really, it was hard work and perseverance. I paid my own way through university. I didn't have a lot of resources at my disposal. I started from the very bottom. No one really knew me, and even when I applied for the top job at the Surrey Board of Trade, I was a young 32-year-old woman, experiencing and being interviewed with great adversity against me because I was young. And of course, I had to go through the regular process, even though I'd been with the organization for such an extensive period of time. But I went through it. I fought hard. I had to prove myself. I worked 12, 14-hour days when I received the CEO position in order to prove myself, make the connections that I needed to make, but also to make sure that the Surrey Board of Trade was rebranded.
Right.
And nurtured within the community, and that it was unlike any other business organization or Chamber of Commerce, Board of Trade, not only within the area, within the region, but also within the country. And so it was about relationship building, the pathway to success. It was about creating leadership-oriented ideas. It was about making sure that this organization was at the top of everyone's minds, and doing things differently. And I believe I've achieved that in my 12th year as CEO. And we're very proud, my team and I here at the Surrey Board of Trade, even my board directors, that we've created some good work to enhance the livability and economy in Surrey.
Fantastic, and that's a good summary of the accomplishment. And I totally agree, because I joined Surrey as a member of the Surrey Board of Trade a year back, and I feel so happy. And I was telling Indra about it. That Indra, I personally feel this is one of the best decisions taken by me during 2017, and I'm honest about it.
That's great.
I'm honest about it. And I feel so happy connecting with you people, and even Indira, and the kind of support I get. It's amazing. And I'm always amazed the way you people manage so many issues and so many things, which is fantastic. But thank you for that. Okay, going forward on the interview, every single person is bestowed with certain strengths when they start with a career or from the beginning. But in the journey to success, they have to focus and basically develop certain things and work on some weaknesses. So what were your core strengths, and what are the areas you had to work on to grow and move forward?
Well, I think my core strength is that I can do a lot in a small period of time.
Wow.
I can learn about an issue very quickly. I'm not an expert on any specific issue, but I know a little bit about everything and how it ties into the economic landscape within the city or within a business or workplace. So I'm very good at tying principles and ideas together to make sure that we are doing well for our businesses, for our membership. I think a weakness is not shouldn't be termed as a weakness,
Yes.
but more of a challenge or an
Yes.
opportunity.
Sure.
And so I think the challenge and opportunity for me was making sure that I was able to brand myself
Okay.
as someone that knew and that could contribute
Right.
to the landscape of Surrey's economy, because I was so young.
Yes.
I'm still young.
Yes.
But I think when you're a young woman, and especially when basically I come out of nowhere, I had to work for every single thing that I ever achieved. And so I think that was my weakness, if you want to
Okay.
term it as that.
Yeah.
But it was the ability to push through. Not always easy, and it hasn't been easy.
Right.
But I've received some wins.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Very nice. Now, in this journey of success so far, what were the most memorable moments of this journey so far?
Well, the most memorable moments were, my whole Surrey Board of Trade life since the age of 19 has been memorable.
Yes.
Because it's been a huge learning cycle.
Right.
If you're in this Board of Trade in Surrey, you are going to be learning about everything.
Right.
And even if you are sitting at the front desk, that's not a front desk position. You're going to be doing a lot. You're going to
You
be
said it.
helping business. So I think, really the pathway for me of memories is all throughout my career. I mean, I met my husband
Right.
while I was networking
Okay.
here at the Board of Trade, and of course we're celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary this year.
Wow.
So that is always top of mind for me.
Wow. Interesting. Very nice. Definitely that was a memorable moment. You met your husband from here.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay, cool. Now, in the journey of success, we do face failure sometimes.
Yes.
It could be a failure, it could be apparent failure, right? But the strategy is that John Maxwell says, failing forward. You fall forward, get up, learn from it, and move on. That's called failing forward. So in your journey of success, what were the favorite failures and what were the lessons learned from you from there?
Well, I don't think I'm going to talk specifically about my
Fair enough.
failures.
Yeah.
I think, with everything that didn't work out as I expected it to, whether it's personally or professionally, I've just had to say, let's just move forward on some things. It hasn't been easy, and it never is with some things, but you have to be able to talk to people that you trust.
Yes.
That can offer you some advice.
Right.
And I've had that in my life. I've been very blessed with that. And I've been able to push through, even though, sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah. Toughest moments of this journey. Do you remember any which were really very tough for you, but you sailed through and the journey moved on and some lessons learned there?
Well, I think number one, what I learned is, I'm so focused on work.
Sure.
And I'm always trying to do better than the project that I've done before, or
Absolutely.
something like that. So I think, making sure that I'm able to forget about those challenges and just push forward
Right.
has been my most difficult challenge. But making sure that I'm able to push through has been rewarding with everything that is different, whether it's personal or professional.
Right. Okay. Now, it's also said that sometimes a presence of a mentor or a coach in life definitely helps. A person who has accomplished something and he wants to give you everything what he knows selflessly. So did you have a mentor in your life? And if yes, what were the contributions, from his side to you?
Well, actually, it was a she to begin with, and it was my mother.
Okay.
And she came to this country. She didn't speak a word of English.
Okay.
In the early 70s, and she went to school. And my daddy didn't even know that she had returned to school. She
Okay.
went to school. She became an accountant. She did everything she had to do to be successful, to be able to prove herself. So number one, she is my inspiration
Right,
because
right.
she worked so hard. My previous employer, who's also a very good friend of mine, she hired me full-time here at the Board of Trade, and I wasn't perfect, when I was in my early 20s. But she believed in me, and I learned a lot from her, not only professionally but also personally. And thirdly, my husband, he has been a significant influence in my life, and been a calming influence, and someone that is a good mentor for me to bounce ideas off of.
Wow, very nice. Very nice. Good to hear that. If you have to name 3 success mantras of your life, what have they been?
Well, 3 success mantras are, number 1, making sure that you are not always focused on work, that you have time for yourself and your health. And most recently, I've learned that, and it's made such a significant difference in my life, especially in the past 4 years. The second success mantra is listen. Don't always jump into the conversation. And number 3, always try to be leadership oriented. Try to do things differently, and don't be shy to do things differently. And I think that's what my mantras are.
Fantastic. I learned so much from you too. All right. Now, gratitude is a part of life and should be a part of life. You move on, you say thank you to people and move on, because sometimes we miss on that in the journey of success. So if you have to thank 3 people in your life and express some gratitude, who would they be?
Well, I would thank my mother, of course.
Yes.
I would thank my husband, and I would thank the Board of Trade in Surrey, because without the Board of Trade, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I went through university working at the Surrey Board of Trade at SFU, and I am where I am right now because of those 3 people and groups.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Now, a worthwhile investment. Do you remember a latest or a recent worthwhile investment on yourself or for yourself which impacted your life positively?
Well, I make an investment every year with my husband, and that's the investment of traveling. We love to explore the world. And I think that's very important for us to meet new people, to meet new cultures, experience new ideas. And when we come back home, we just are so blessed to live in Canada, but we also find new ways of living, new ways of interacting, and so that's what I believe in.
Very nice. A recent purchase of $100 or less, do you remember any which really influenced you and impacted your life positively?
Well, I have to say, any investment that I make that is like that is of music. So my husband and I love listening to live music. It relaxes us because we live such busy, stressful lives. But when we're listening to live music and we buy a ticket, it doesn't have to be a huge concert at Rogers Arena, which is very expensive. But local live music venues is an investment in ourselves, in our minds, in our souls. And that helps me in my work life.
Calming yourself and rejuvenating yourself.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. Now, you know what? A lot of children are graduating from the college and schools, and soon they will be in the job market. And you started afresh that way too, at the early age. So if you had to give an advice to a fresh college graduate about to enter the real world, what advice would you like to give them?
Get experience, adjust your attitude. You're not going to get everything right away. And you have to work for what you want, and you have to work hard. And don't expect deals to happen through social media or through texting or even by phone. Creating relationships like we've created with you here at the Surrey Board of Trade is so important and creates great longevity in relationships, personally and professionally, and is so rewarding. So I think even Generation Z, those kids that are going to school right now, that have had a computer since they were in preschool, they're going to be very different from when they enter the workplace.
Absolutely.
But this talking face to face will never grow old.
Can never be replaced.
That's right.
That connection, the relationship.
Yes.
Absolutely. Very good message. Really very good message. I appreciate that. And lastly, to close the interview, the question which I always ask all the success icons is, how do you define success?
Well, I define success as making sure that I live a comfortable life, that I'm surrounded by people that I can trust, that have my back. And I also define success as making sure that, we're healthy. Life is so short.
Yes.
And we have to live each day to its fullest. That's one of my other mantras. And so I think that is the foundation of what I believe in.
Success is.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Awesome, Anita. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. And I'm sure that your success journey, your story, and your motivations and accomplishments are going to motivate many people in times to come.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.